Malik Johnson stood outside the bright grocery store and watched people walk past him like he was invisible. His stomach growled, so loud he thought everyone could hear it. He hadn't eaten in 2 days. His clothes were wrinkled and dirty, but he kept his head up. His mama always told him, a man's pride is the last thing he should lose. But right now his pride felt heavy, like a rock in his pocket. He watched a lady with silver hair struggle with 4 big bags of groceries. Her arms shook as she tried to carry them to her car. Malik took a deep breath. This was it. He would offer to help her. Maybe, just maybe, she would give him a few dollars for food. His hands trembled as he walked toward her. What if she screamed? What if she called the police? What if she thought he was dangerous just because he was a big black man in dirty clothes? "Excuse me, ma'am," Malik said softly. His voice cracked. "Can I help you carry those bags?" The woman stopped. She looked at him with bright blue eyes that seemed to see right through him. Malik held his breath. But we need to go back. Back to before everything fell apart. Back to when Malik's life made sense. 3 years earlier, Malik woke up every morning at 5 o'clock. He would kiss his wife Denise on the forehead, careful not to wake her. Then he'd tiptoe to his kids' rooms. Marcus was 12 and already taller than most boys his age. Jada was 9 and had her mother's beautiful smile. "I love you," he'd whisper at their doors, even though they couldn't hear him. Malik worked as an electrician. For 22 years, he fixed lights, wired houses, and made sure families had power. He was proud of his work. People trusted him. His boss, Mr. Patterson, always said, "Malik, you're the best worker I've got." Life was good. Not perfect, but good. They had a small house with a backyard. Marcus played basketball. Jada loved to draw. On Sundays, Denise cooked her famous chicken, and they'd all eat together, laughing and talking about their week. Then everything changed. It started with Denise feeling tired. "I'm fine," she'd say, waving her hand. "Just need more sleep." But the tiredness got worse. She started forgetting things. One day, she collapsed in the kitchen while making breakfast. Malik rushed her to the hospital, his heart beating so fast he thought it would explode. The doctor's words felt like bullets. Cancer. Stage 3. It spread. Malik felt the world tilt sideways. But she's only 42, he stammered. "She's healthy. She exercises. I'm sorry," the doctor said. "We'll fight this, but it's going to be expensive." Fight. That's what they did. Malik worked overtime every single day. He took extra jobs on weekends. He barely slept. The medical bills piled up like a mountain that kept growing taller and taller. Their savings disappeared in 3 months. Then they started using credit cards. Then they borrowed money from friends. Then from the bank. Denise went through chemotherapy. Her beautiful hair fell out. She got so thin that Malik could see her bones. But she kept smiling. "We're going to beat this," she'd tell Marcus and Jada. "Mama's going to be fine." Malik wanted to believe her. He prayed every night. He begged God to save his wife. But God said no. Denise died on a Tuesday morning in spring. The birds were singing outside, which felt cruel. How could the world be so beautiful when his heart was breaking into a million pieces? At the funeral, Malik held Marcus and Jada as they cried. He felt empty inside, like someone had scooped out everything that made him human and left just a shell. The fall. After Denise died, Malik couldn't think straight. The bills kept coming. Funeral costs. Hospital bills. The mortgage he hadn't paid in 4 months. His boss was kind at first. "Take time off," Mr. Patterson said. "Grieve. We'll be here when you're ready." But Malik couldn't focus. One day, he wired a house wrong and almost caused a fire. Mr. Patterson had to let him go. "I'm sorry, Malik. I really am. But I can't risk people's safety." Without a job, Malik couldn't pay the mortgage. The bank sent letters, red notices, final warnings. He ignored them all. What did it matter anymore? Marcus went to live with Denise's sister in Florida. Jada went with her. They cried when they left. "Daddy, come with us." Jada begged, but there wasn't room, and Malik was ashamed. He felt like a failure. What kind of father loses his home? What kind of man can't take care of his children? I'll fix this, he promised them. I'll get back on my feet and come get you. I promise. That was 8 months ago. The bank took the house. Malik lived in his car for a while, but then the car broke down and he couldn't afford to fix it. So he ended up on the streets, sleeping in shelters when there was room or under bridges when there wasn't. He thought about stealing. It would be so easy to grab food from a store. But his mama's voice echoed in his head. We may be poor, baby, but we ain't thieves. We got dignity. So Malik stayed honest, even when his stomach screamed for food, even when the cold nights made him shake, even when other homeless people told him he was stupid for not doing what he had to do to survive. The moment of truth. And now here he was, 45 years old, standing outside a grocery store in a rich neighborhood where people drove cars that cost more than his old house, asking a stranger if he could carry her bags. The silver-haired woman looked at him for a long moment. Malik saw her eyes travel from his worn shoes to his dirty jacket to his face. He waited for her to say no, to walk away, to be afraid. Instead, she smiled. Yes, sweetheart, she said in a warm voice. I would love some help. These bags are heavier than I thought. Malik felt tears prick his eyes. Such a simple kindness. Such a small thing. But it felt like the sun breaking through clouds. He picked up her bags carefully, like they were made of glass. They walked to her car together. She moved slowly, and Malik matched her pace. What's your name? She asked. Malik, ma'am. Malik Johnson. I'm Evelyn Thompson, she said. It's nice to meet you, Malik. When they reached her car, Malik loaded the bags into her trunk. His hands were gentle despite their roughness. Electrician's hands. Hands that used to build and fix things. Hands that used to matter. Evelyn reached into her purse. Malik expected maybe $5. Maybe 10 if he was lucky. She pulled out $50. Ma'am, that's too much, Malik said, even though his stomach was screaming at him to take it. Nonsense, Evelyn said. You helped me. Besides, she paused and looked at him again with those sharp blue eyes. When's the last time you ate, Malik? His throat felt tight. He couldn't lie to this kind woman. 2 days ago, ma'am. Evelyn's face softened with sadness. I thought so. She pressed the money into his hand. Then she did something that made Malik's heart crack open. She touched his shoulder gently. You're going to be okay, sweetheart. I promise you, you're going to be okay. And for the first time in 8 months, Malik believed that maybe, just maybe, it might be true. But Evelyn didn't get in her car. She stood there, looking at Malik like she was thinking hard about something important. Malik, she said slowly, have you eaten today at all? He shook his head. He felt embarrassed, but there was something about this woman that made him want to tell the truth. Then you're coming with me, Evelyn said. It wasn't a question. It was a decision. There's a diner 2 blocks from here. We're going to get you a proper meal. Malik's eyes went wide. Ma'am, I can't let you. You can and you will, Evelyn said firmly. I'm 73 years old, young man. I've earned the right to be stubborn. Now come on. Malik followed her, feeling like he was in a dream. Was this real? Did things like this actually happen to people like him? The diner was bright and warm. It smelled like coffee and bacon and home. Malik couldn't remember the last time he'd been inside a restaurant. People stared at him as they walked in. He saw a woman pull her purse closer. A man frowned at his dirty clothes. But Evelyn didn't seem to notice. Or maybe she did notice and just didn't care. They sat in a booth near the window. The waitress came over, looking suspicious. What can I get you? She asked, but she was only looking at Evelyn. 2 of your breakfast specials, Evelyn said cheerfully, with extra bacon and coffee. Lots of coffee. When the waitress left, Evelyn folded her hands on the table and looked at Malik, really looked at him. Not the way most people looked at homeless folks, with pity or disgust or fear. She looked at him like he was a person, like he mattered. Tell me your story, Malik, she said gently, if you want to. And somehow, Malik wanted to. The words poured out of him like water from a broken dam. He told her about Denise, about the cancer and the bills and watching his wife fade away, about losing his job and his house, about Marcus and Jada living in Florida without him. I talk to them on the phone when I can, Malik said, his voice breaking. I use the phone at the library, but I lie to them. I tell them Daddy's doing great, that I'm working again, that I'll come see them soon. He put his face in his hands. I'm such a liar. No, Evelyn said firmly. You're protecting your children. That's what parents do. The food came. Malik stared at the plate like it was treasure. Eggs, bacon, pancakes, hash browns. More food than he'd seen in weeks. Eat, Evelyn said, smiling. Please. Malik tried to eat slowly, to have manners. But he was so hungry that he couldn't help himself. He ate like a man who didn't know when his next meal would come. Because he didn't. Evelyn ate her food quietly, watching him with kind eyes. When he finished, she ordered him another plate, and pie, and more coffee. Thank you, Malik whispered. Thank you so much. You don't need to thank me, Evelyn said. But I do need to ask you something. Do you want help? Real help. Malik looked up, confused. Ma'am. I volunteer at a community center, Evelyn explained. It's a place that helps people who are going through hard times. They have job training, counseling, support groups. They help people get back on their feet. She reached across the table and put her hand on his. Would you be willing to come with me? Just to look around. Malik felt hope bloom in his chest, but then fear stomped it down. What if I mess it up? What if I'm not good enough? What if you are good enough? Evelyn interrupted. What if this is your second chance? You won't know unless you try. Malik thought about Marcus and Jada, about the promise he made to them, about the man he used to be before grief broke him. Okay, he said quietly. I'll try. Evelyn's smile was like sunshine. The community center. The next day, Malik met Evelyn at the community center. He'd used some of the $50 to sleep in a cheap motel and take a shower. He'd washed his clothes in the sink. He still looked rough, but at least he was clean. The center was in an old building that had been painted bright yellow. There were people everywhere. Kids playing basketball, old folks sitting in chairs talking, families eating at tables. This is home for a lot of people, Evelyn said. A safe place, a place where everyone matters. She introduced him to Sandra, the director. Sandra was a short black woman with gray hair and eyes that seemed to understand everything without you saying a word. Evelyn told me about you, Sandra said, shaking Malik's hand firmly. Welcome, Malik. We're glad you're here. Thank you, ma'am, Malik said nervously. Sandra showed him around. There was a job training room with computers, a kitchen where they taught cooking classes, a counseling office, a clothes closet where people could get free clothes for job interviews. We believe everyone deserves a second chance, Sandra said, no matter what happened to them, no matter where they've been. She took Malik to a small office, and they sat down. Tell me what you used to do, she said. I was an electrician, Malik said, for 22 years. Sandra's eyes lit up. Really? We've been looking for someone to help with repairs around here. The lights in the gym keep flickering. The outlets in the kitchen are old. Would you be willing to help us out? We can't pay much, but I'll do it for free, Malik said quickly, to say thank you. No, Sandra said firmly. We pay people for their work here. Dignity means getting paid fairly. She wrote something on a paper. How about this? You work part-time doing repairs and maintenance. We pay you, and in return, you attend our job training workshops. We'll help you get your electrician's license renewed. We'll help you write a resume. We'll help you find a real job. Malik couldn't believe it. You do that for me? We're doing it with you, Sandra corrected. Not for you. You're going to do the hard work. We're just opening the door. That week, Malik started working at the center. He fixed the lights in the gym. He replaced the old outlets in the kitchen. He helped install new smoke detectors in the building. It felt good to work again, to use his hands, to build and fix things, to matter. He attended workshops on resume writing and interview skills. He went to support groups where other people who'd been homeless shared their stories. He wasn't alone. There were so many people fighting to get back on their feet. Slowly, Malik started to believe in himself again. The darkness that had covered him for 8 months started to lift, like morning fog burning away. One day, Sandra called him into her office. "Malik, I want you to meet someone." A tall white man in an expensive suit stood up and shook Malik's hand. "I'm Robert Reynolds," he said. "I own Reynolds Construction Company." Malik's heart started pounding. He knew that name. Reynolds Construction was one of the biggest companies in Atlanta. "Sandra told me about you," Mr. Reynolds said. "She said you're an excellent electrician. She said you're reliable and honest, and you work hard." He smiled. "I'm looking for someone exactly like that. Would you be interested in an entry-level position with my company?" Malik felt like he couldn't breathe. "Are you serious?" "Very serious," Mr. Reynolds said. "It won't be easy. You'll have to prove yourself every day. But if you're willing to work hard, I'm willing to give you a chance." Tears rolled down Malik's face. He didn't even care that he was crying in front of this important businessman. "Yes," he said. "Yes, sir. I won't let you down." Mr. Reynolds smiled and shook his hand again. "I know you won't." After he left, Malik turned to Sandra. "Why?" he asked. "Why are you all helping me?" Sandra smiled softly. "Because someone helped me once," she said. "When I was young and lost and thought I'd never amount to anything, someone saw worth in me. They gave me a chance. And I promised myself that when I had the power to help others, I would." She put her hand on Malik's shoulder. "That's what we do here. We pass it forward." That night, Malik called Marcus and Jada. For the first time in months, he didn't have to lie. "I got a job," he told them, his voice shaking with happiness. "A real job. And I'm going to get an apartment. And soon, very soon, Daddy's coming to visit you." "Really?" Jada squealed. "Really, really?" "Really, really," Malik promised. And this time, he knew he could keep his promise. Marcus's voice was quiet. "I'm proud of you, Dad." Those 4 words healed something broken inside Malik's heart. Malik's first day at Reynolds Construction felt like walking into a different world. He wore new work clothes from the center's clothing closet. His boots were clean. His tools, borrowed from the company, hung from his belt like old friends coming home. The other workers stared at him. Malik could feel their questions. Who was this new guy? Where did he come from? Could he really do the work? "Let's see what you've got," said Jimmy, the crew leader. He was a big man with arms like tree trunks and a voice that could shake walls. He pointed to a panel box that needed rewiring. "Show me." Malik's hands shook as he opened his tool bag. What if he'd forgotten everything? What if 8 months on the streets had erased his skills? But then something magical happened. His hands remembered. They knew exactly what to do. Strip the wire. Twist the connections. Test the current. Check the ground. It was like riding a bike. Your body never forgets. 20 minutes later, the panel was perfect. Jimmy inspected it carefully, looking for any mistakes. He found none. "Not bad," Jimmy said, and Malik could hear the surprise in his voice. "Not bad at all." By the end of the week, the other workers stopped staring. They started joking with him, asking his opinion, treating him like part of the team. Malik worked harder than everyone else. He arrived early. He stayed late. He volunteered for the difficult jobs that others avoided. He never complained. Mr. Reynolds noticed. One day, he pulled Malik aside. "You're doing excellent work," he said. "Keep it up." Those simple words made Malik stand taller. Someone believed in him. Someone saw his value. Building a life. After 2 months of work, Malik had saved enough money for an apartment. It wasn't much, just a tiny studio with old carpet and a bathroom that barely worked. But it was his own space, his own door that locked, his own bed that wasn't in a shelter. The first night in his apartment, Malik sat on the floor and cried. Happy tears, grateful tears, tears that wash away months of shame and fear. He called Marcus and Jada. "I have an address now," he told them. "A real address where you can send me letters. Can we visit?" Jada asked excitedly, Can we see your new place? Soon, baby girl, Malik promised. Very soon. He started furnishing his apartment slowly. A used couch from a thrift store, a small table and 2 chairs, dishes from the dollar store. Each item felt like a victory, like proof that he was rebuilding his life one piece at a time. But something was missing. Malik had been given so much. Kindness, help, a second chance. He needed to give back. He started volunteering at the community center on weekends. He helped fix things that were broken. He taught a basic electrical safety class. He sat with people who were homeless and listened to their stories. You understand, a young man named Tommy told him one day. Tommy had been on the streets for 6 months. You don't look at me like I'm trash. Because you're not trash, Malik said firmly. You're a person going through a hard time. That's all. Hard times don't last forever. How do you know? Tommy asked, his eyes full of pain. Malik told him his story. About Denise. About losing everything. About the grocery store and Evelyn and the community center and Mr. Reynolds. If it happened for me, it can happen for you, Malik said. But you have to believe it's possible. You have to take the hand when someone reaches out. Tommy started crying. I'm scared, he whispered. I know, Malik said. I was scared too, but being scared is okay. Being hopeless is what kills you. He helped Tommy get signed up for the center's programs. 2 months later, Tommy got a job at a restaurant. 6 months after that, he had his own apartment. You saved my life, Tommy told Malik. No, Malik said, smiling. You saved your own life. I just showed you the door. You walked through it. Full circle. 6 months after starting at Reynolds Construction, Mr. Reynolds called Malik into his office. Malik's heart pounded. Was he in trouble? Had he done something wrong? Sit down, Mr. Reynolds said. He wasn't smiling, and Malik felt nervous. Malik, I've been watching you, Mr. Reynolds said. You're one of the best workers I have. You're reliable. You're skilled. You're a leader. He paused. How would you feel about becoming a crew supervisor? Malik's mouth fell open. Sir, it comes with a raise. And more responsibility. You'd be in charge of training new workers. Mr. Reynolds leaned forward. I think you'd be perfect for it. You know what it's like to struggle. You know what it's like to need a chance. You'd be good at helping others. Yes, Malik said, his voice shaking. Yes, sir. Thank you. That weekend, Malik bought a plane ticket to Florida. It was time to see his kids. When Marcus and Jada ran into his arms at the airport, Malik thought his heart would burst. They'd grown so much. Marcus was almost as tall as him now. Jada had lost 2 teeth and couldn't stop talking. Daddy, you came. Jada shouted. You really came. I promised, didn't I? Malik said, holding them tight. And Daddy keeps his promises. They spent 3 days together. They went to the beach. They ate ice cream. They talked and laughed and just enjoyed being together. On the last night, Marcus asked a question Malik had been dreading. Dad, can we come live with you again? Malik's heart ached. Not yet, son. My apartment is too small, but I'm saving money. In a few months, I'll have enough for a bigger place. A place with room for you and your sister. He looked Marcus in the eye. I'm building a life again. A good life. And you too are part of that life. I promise. Marcus hugged him. I believe you, Dad. The gift. Back in Atlanta, Malik couldn't stop thinking about Evelyn. She'd started everything. One act of kindness outside a grocery store had changed his entire life. He went to the community center and found Sandra. I want to do something for Evelyn, he said. She saved me. How do I thank someone for that? Sandra smiled. I have an idea. 2 weeks later, the community center held a special event. They called it Community Heroes Night, a celebration of people who made a difference. Evelyn was invited as a guest of honor. She had no idea what was coming. When she arrived, the room was full of people. Malik stood at the front, wearing his best clothes. His hands were sweaty. He'd never been good at public speaking. Sandra introduced him. This is Malik Johnson. Many of you know his story. He's here tonight to honor someone special. Malik stepped forward. He looked at Evelyn. who was sitting in the front row looking confused. "Miss Evelyn," he began, his voice shaking. "9 months ago, I was homeless. I was hungry. I was broken. I thought my life was over." He paused, gathering courage. "Then you saw me outside a grocery store. You could have walked past me like everyone else did. You could have been afraid of me. But you weren't." Tears rolled down Evelyn's cheeks. "You gave me money for food. But more than that, you gave me something I'd lost. Hope. You brought me here. You introduced me to Sandra and this amazing place. You started a chain reaction that saved my life." His voice broke. "I have a job now. An apartment. I talk to my kids every day. I'm rebuilding my life. And it all started because you were kind to a stranger." He held up a beautiful certificate with Evelyn's name on it. "The community center wants to honor you tonight, and I want to give you this." He handed her an envelope. "It's a donation to the center, in your name, so that other people like me can get the help they need." The room erupted in applause. Evelyn stood up, crying, and hugged Malik tight. "I'm so proud of you," she whispered. "So very proud." "I wouldn't be here without you," Malik whispered back. Where it all began. 1 year after that first meeting, Malik went back to the grocery store where it all started. He wasn't there to ask for help this time. He was there to give it. He saw a young woman sitting outside. She was thin and dirty. Her eyes were empty. She looked exactly like he'd looked a year ago. Malik bought groceries inside. Lots of them. More than he needed. When he came out, he walked over to her. "Excuse me, miss," he said gently. "Could you help me carry these to my car? These bags are heavy." The woman looked up, surprised. "Me?" "Yes, you," Malik said, smiling. "I could really use the help." She stood up slowly and took the bags. They walked to his car together. When they got there, Malik loaded the groceries. Then he pulled out some money and gave it to her. "This is too much," she said, just like he'd said to Evelyn. "No, it's not," Malik said. "When's the last time you ate?" Her eyes filled with tears. "Yesterday morning." Malik's heart broke. He'd been there. He knew that hunger, that hopelessness. "I want to take you somewhere," he said. "A place that helps people. A place that gave me a second chance. Will you come with me?" The woman hesitated. Malik could see the fear and hope battling her eyes. "What's your name?" he asked. "Sarah," she whispered. "I'm Malik," he said. "And I promise you, Sarah, you're going to be okay. I know it doesn't feel like it right now, but you're going to be okay." He drove her to the community center. Sandra met them at the door, her kind eyes taking in Sarah's situation immediately. "Welcome home," Sandra said, just like she'd said to Malik a year ago. As Malik drove away, he thought about how far he'd come. From broken to builder. From hopeless to hopeful. From lost to found. He thought about Denise. She'd be proud of him. She'd be proud of the man he'd become through all the pain. He thought about Marcus and Jada. In 2 months, they'd be moving in with him. He'd found a 2-bedroom apartment. Their rooms were already set up, waiting for them. He thought about all the people at the center, Tommy, Sarah, and dozens of others who just needed someone to believe in them. And he thought about Evelyn, about how one small act of kindness could ripple out and change the world. Malik's phone rang. It was Mr. Reynolds. "Malik, we just got a big contract. I need my best supervisor on it. You interested?" "Yes, sir," Malik said, smiling. "I'm interested." As he drove through Atlanta, the sunset painted the sky orange and gold. Beautiful, hopeful, full of promise, just like his new life. If this story touched your heart, please share it with someone who needs hope today. Like and subscribe to hear more stories about kindness, second chances, and the power of community. Remember, you never know how one small act of kindness might change someone's entire life. Be someone's Evelyn today.